Hello everybody, welcome back. I am back. It has been too long since I put makeup on my face. So today, that is what we are doing. In today's video, we are going to be comparing the Little Ray of Sunshine palette to the KKW Beauty Honey Matte palette, because I did the review of this palette and I said that this one seemed to be like a dupe of the KKW Honey Matte palette, and recently I've been reading some comments that have popped up on that video and people are just genuinely wondering, like, is it a dupe? Which one do you prefer? You know, what one is better? And so this is what we came up with for today. I did use the KKW Beauty one on this side and the ColourPop one on this side. If you guys want to hear my general thoughts and opinions on it, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. With that being said, let's get started. Alright, so on this side, I'm going to be doing ColourPop, and on this eye, I'm going to be doing KKW Beauty. So on my left eye is ColourPop, my right is KKW Beauty. So from the Little Ray of Sunshine palette, I am going to take the shade. I can't read the name on the back, but it's this one right here. And it's the first color in the palette. It's also the lightest shade. I'm just going to use a fluffy brush and run that through my crease just as a light transition shade, like that. Now that one doesn't really show up. I mean, I can kind of see where I put it because the eye primer I put on was like a white translucent shade, and so I can see where that shade has brightened up my crease. From the KKW Beauty palette, I'm going to go into the shade Buzzing, which is the first one in the palette. It is also the lightest shade. I have cleaned off this brush with a shadow switch, and I'm just using the same brush. Like that. So far the difference is that the KKW side, it's a little bit deeper, and it's a little bit like more warm toned. It's like a little bit, it's more of like a yellowish white versus like this yellow right here in the ColourPop palette that we just used. It's like a pastel yellow. This one is more of like a melted butter kind of yellow right here. So then the next shade I'm going to go in with is the first one on the third row right here. It is like a light, it's like a cool toned brownish yellow, or yellowy brown. Brownish yellow is better. I'm gonna put that in my crease as well. That one has more pigment, like it definitely has more pigment than the first shade. I'm gonna go back into that color again, just to kind of build up the color, because it's not a super rich tone. And I kind of want that to be like the top shade. flick it out a little bit to create a wing. So that one is, it is definitely more pigmented. It doesn't build too much, so like, this is the color in the pan versus like the color on my eye. I don't think I'd be able to build it to be much deeper than what it is right here. Which is fine. I mean, like, this is pigmented enough. And then from the KKW Beauty palette, the one I think is the most similar is the shade Honeycomb, which is right next to the first shade that we used, so it's the second shade in the palette. And again, I shadow switched the brush to remove all of the extra pigment. And I'm just gonna put this into the crease. So almost immediately, just from looking, that KKW shadow has nearly as much pigment with one go as what 3 goes with the ColourPop did. So I'm gonna go back in to that shade again and just again kind of buff and blend it. Yeah, and the KKW one like has more even distribution. Can you see how like the color is the same almost all the way across and down into the inner corner? I did the same thing on this side, and it's like it fades to the inner corner, so where there's almost nothing on the inner corner, which if that's what you want, that's fine. That's not a bad thing. Let us take a, this one's from the Urban Decay palette. I'm just gonna take this double-sided brush from the Urban Decay Honey palette, and I'm gonna go in to this shade right here. It's the third color on the third row. It is the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm gonna take that and put it on my inner corner, or not my inner corner, my outer corner on the ColourPop side, and just kind of pack that on and sweep it out a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Maybe drag that through the crease just to add a little depth. Okay, and this one does have a little bit of fallout right here. And it is kind of skippy, like right here, but that it's also probably just my eyelid. But it does blend out very, very nicely, so that's a good thing. Okay, I shadow switched it again, and I'm gonna go into, what shade do you look like the most? This one. Oopsies. Okay, I'm gonna go into the last color in the KKW Beauty palette. This one here. It's the 5th color on the 2nd row. Same brush, We shadow switched it, and same thing, pack it on the outside corner and kind of drawing it out so that we get like the wing shape. And go back in. And again, drag it through the crease. This one does not have the fallout that this side did, but this side wasn't as pigmented either. So the KKW side, that darkest shade was not as pigmented as what the ColourPop one was. I will say I didn't have the same issues blending it out that I did for the ColourPop side, so maybe take that into consideration. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a packing, like a shader brush like this, and from the I'm not picking that up right now. I'm gonna go in with another packing brush though. From the KKW Beauty palette, I am going to go in with the middle shade on the bottom row right here, because it's like a truer yellowy tone, I guess. Maybe, let me see. Yeah, that's like the most honey yellow color in the palette. And I am going to put that all over my lid. That is pigmented. That shade did have fallout though. So like I did put it on my lid, but there is quite a bit of fallout with that one. I think it'll brush away though pretty easily. From the sunflower palette, I'm gonna go in with the middle shade of the palette and the same brush, which I've just cleaned off. This one is more yellow though. I will say it's not even like just a honey color. It is like a true yellow, and it is very pigmented. Wow. And it builds really nicely too. Yes, I would love to. Okay, so up to this point, I would say that the palettes have been pretty similar, but like the yellow shade, this ColourPop one, it's way more yellow. Like it is a much truer yellow than this one is. Though I will say that the honey shade, or the color I put on my lid from the KKW Honey Mats, it is a very true honey tone. This one is actually like sunflower yellow. They look pretty similar. I'm going to take the blending brush again that we used earlier, and I'm just going to go into the shade I have on my lid from each palette and kind of buff everything out and smoke it out a little bit, because I love, you guys know, I love smoky eyes. They're my favorite. Do it for that one. And this will also kind of help like blend the edges a little bit. so there's that. And then for eyeliner, I'm just gonna take this Wet n Wild pencil. Kohl liner, it's just brown. And put that in on my lower lash line and in my waterline. Like that. And then I'm going to take a small brush like this. And from the KKW Beauty palette, I'm gonna grab that middle shade right there, the one that we put in our crease, and put that on the lower lash line to help smoke it out. Like I said, I love smoky eyes, guys. I do. I really, really do. I also have a giant zit on my forehead that my bangs are covering up, so hopefully you cannot see it. And I'm going to go into this shade, the middle one on the bottom row, to do it on the other side. That looks nice. Downstairs and I'm so excited. And then what was I doing? Mascara. I'm gonna put on some mascara really quick. So, and then there is that, and that is pretty much it for the look. Now, oh, I forgot to talk about the fallout. Let's see how well the fallout from the KKW Beauty side wipes away. Fairly easily. There's no weird smudgy marks, which is good. And so does the ColourPop side. Now, with that being said, in my personal opinion, as somebody who really enjoys eyeshadow, you can really see the difference now. Because this eye, I think this eye looks more open and yet like sleek, because you can see more of the pigment because it's a little bit deeper. And then this side looks more open because the yellow is there. In my personal opinion, I prefer the KKW Beauty mattes, this one, to this one, just because of like the type of eye look that I like to do. If you like a bright yellow or like a sunflower yellow, you would probably like the ColourPop one, especially if you prefer more cool tone shades, because I will say that is the biggest difference across the board, is the fact that this ColourPop one, it is way more cool toned than this one is. Way more cool toned. Okay, but you can get an almost identical look from this palette as you can this one. I prefer the consistency and the texture of the KKW Beauty eyeshadows compared to the ColourPop one. I think that they're a little bit easier to blend. I think that they're more pigmented than what ColourPops are. Again, my opinion. It's okay if you don't agree with it. That is fine. We are all or hopefully we are all adults here. But yeah, I prefer the KKW Beauty one, and some of you guys were wondering which one I prefer, which one I would buy again. I would buy the KKW Beauty one, though I am not mad at the look that we got from the ColourPop one. I just prefer to have my eyes like look more open like they do on this side than they do on this side. But anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. And yeah, with that being said, let's get started. Sorry, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.